morning, everyone. Good afternoon and good evening to all of you who are watching the Crystal Clear Show. Welcome to the Crystal Clear Show. I am your host, Crystal, and it's my passion to help professionals 30 and over to get unstuck from their corporate 9 to 5 jobs to launch and grow a successful six-figure business with my Crystal Clear blueprint. Today's guest is Renata Sas, who is an accountability coach. She is passionate about helping individuals reach their full potential and achieve their goals. So, welcome to our show, Renata. How are you doing today?
Welcome and thank you. Thank you for having me, Crystal. I am doing great and very excited. I've been watching your shows, and you having me here is absolute excitement. So I'm very happy to be here.
Oh, I'm so happy and blessed to have you here with us because I know you have so much wisdom to share our our viewers, our members of the Crystal Clear Blueprint. So let's get into it. Well, before we start everything else, I always ask my um, guest, if you are a superhero, who would it be and why? And this time, with a twist, I'm going to ask you, what is your superpower, Renata? And what is your greatest strength?
My superpower is having grit. I'm immensely stubborn and I just want to get things done and I want to achieve my goals like yesterday. So I am very thorough in working and walking and doing the boring stuff that will add up and will make things happen. So that is my hidden superpower, so to say.
That's right.
And I'm using that in accountability coaching and helping people to develop that grit. If I would be superhero, I would be Superwoman, right?
Right.
Because she has an immense strength as well, and I would use it to lend people some of my strength to help them make the changes that they want to do, but they are afraid to do in their own lives. So I
Right.
would be there to help them make that change and walk through that transition.
Oh, I love that. And I remember watching the Superwoman movie. She's dressed like a normal person, but actually she's so strong and so powerful, and she can just transform anything and be the real person that she is. So, and knowing you, because we have been in contact for a couple of months now, and I really know that you have this kind of superpower, and I know that you will be able to help other people be accountable with their journey as well. So I always also ask my guest with their favorite quotes, and you have given me a quote from Paul Martinelli, who said that you do not have the luxury of a negative thought. I just love that. Isn't that amazing? Can you just explain a little bit why do you chose this quote?
This was a quote that hit me like 2, 3 years ago when I was following Paul Martinelli's content, and I was doing everything right. I was doing the courses, I was doing very well at job, but it just didn't have that breakthrough yet.
Mm-hmm.
So I heard this quote that you do not have the luxury of a negative thought, which hit me in the core because I was raised as being very skeptical and analytical. In my mind, I analyze everything. And
Yeah.
it just, this quote itself made me switch from a highly analytical perspective and to use that energy and focus on actually co-creating good and wealth in the world. So this
Yeah.
is where I made the switch, and I was just okay. All the time and all the energy that I'm consuming on criticizing, analyzing, and all that, I will use that and put that into serving other people. So
Oh,
it
I
was,
just love that.
yeah, it was absolutely mind blowing. And I use this whenever I feel overwhelmed or I feel anxious or I feel frustrated.
Yes.
I think now we are back.
Yeah, now we're back. Yes. So you were saying you use this quote whenever you feel like
Whenever,
you are going back to your old ways.
yes, yes. And it is very useful for people who are suffering from anxiety because I was as well. And you can just discipline your thoughts. You can.
Right.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true because I myself, I catch myself also uh, having these negative thoughts. All of us, because we are sometimes raised like that with
Yeah.
everything that we are going through. But when we now change our thoughts into something positive, a lot of things are changing. We can see the changes in our lives. And I have an example for that because I used to be late all the time and before when I wake up I would already always say, oh, I'm going to be late. But then when I heard Paul Martinelli and Bob Proctor say that we need to change our thoughts and we can start by doing switching when we catch ourselves, I just say instead of I'm going to be late, I'm just going to be grateful. And indeed, it it rarely happens now that I am late because when I catch myself, I change immediately. So that some small things, changing our thoughts, our minds is really important.
Yes. And everything was an idea at first, you know? So
Yeah.
we have the power to translate that idea into action. So if we cultivate negative ideas,
Right.
it would be absolutely horrific to translate everything into action. So yeah,
It's
let's just focus on the good
yeah.
and wealth that we can provide to others and in the world. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to ask our audience, do you have this? Do you sometimes catch yourself thinking negative thoughts? And if yes, comment down below. Or if you're watching on replay, well, comment down below. And what are the things that you do when you catch yourself thinking negative thoughts? So let us move on into the nitty gritty stuff. I'm going to ask you, what is your biggest why, Renata? We all have our whys, but for you, what is your biggest why?
Um, I remember myself when I was a little girl, right? And growing up in the 90s, I'm a 90s kid from a post communist country. I didn't really have role models that I looked up to. I had very good examples of people doing things maybe differently, right? Maybe very bold way, but I wasn't fully on board with it, and I did not have role models that we talk about, or the modern concept of
Right.
role models. So I did not have that, and I had to find that
Mm-hmm.
and create that in my mind, which was a very difficult thing to do. And also, this is why, after analyzing, okay, my way and my processes, I turned into overworking myself, because that was the one niche and the activity lane that produced results and that were tangible to me. So I grew up in a
Mm-hmm.
toxic work culture, and also being burnout and being overworked was very praised back in those days. So I ended up being burnout, and I went from there finding balance. So this is my biggest why, being a role model for those who think that they are overwhelmed by their environment, and to helping them um, lead and assist them and support them through the process. That is my biggest why.
Wow. It's true that when sometimes when you hit your rock bottom, you think, what am I going to do with my life? Isn't it? It's and then you find your biggest why. You find direction. You find, oh, I don't want this anymore for myself, and I don't want this anymore for other people. And that's when you learn and unlearn and relearn, and try to help others that we know we can help in the way that we can. I want to ask you, so when and where exactly did you start your journey? Is it this after, immediately after this burnout that you mentioned earlier? So how did you start your journey then?
As I mentioned, I am really stubborn in my ways. So I went ahead and was burnout and was living with burnout for several years, until I couldn't do it anymore. So I was being burnout and stuck in bed because I wasn't able to get up like 2, 3 times a year, And back in those
Wow.
days, um, even nowadays, the effect of a burnout were not medically recognized, so you couldn't get medical days off from work. So you had to consume your own days, your own holidays, to rest it out. Okay, which led obviously to another burnout in the work field.
Right.
So when I started my journey and I started
Yeah.
questioning what I was doing up until then, I ran into a coach, Chris Navarro, back in 2013. And
Mhm.
I was telling her about my struggles and how I do not resonate with what I'm doing and how I'm living. And I was convinced in my core that I can do more and I can be more. I just need some way to make that happen. And she said, well,
Right.
I think NLP might help you because I was very cerebral and thinking everything. So
Mhm.
yeah, I've enrolled in an NLP course, in neuro linguistics course, and that is when my journey began. Because there I
Oh.
found out what were my limiting beliefs and how to overcome them. And also, I found out about patterns of thinking and behaving and how to shape our results using linguistics and using mind tools. And I absolutely loved my journey. It was the most difficult one, yes. And I am still continuing. I got certified in neurolinguistics, and I've been using those tools from then. Even in my daily practice, I use them when I catch myself like, nope, you're jumping back to your old ways. Let's mix things up. Yeah, that is how my journey started.
Right. Well, for those who doesn't know, then what does NLP mean? What does neurolinguistic means? Can you explain a little bit more? Because this is very interesting. For some people, it's very new to us what an NLP means.
Neurolinguistics programming. This is where NLP comes from. It's bases on the fact that you can shape your thoughts, you can shape your behavior, and you can shape your outcome. So using linguistics, you can change your mind patterns, you can go through traumas, you can change your patterns. Because the thing is, people say that it's only words, but if you think about it, I have also a cultural background in anthropology. So no, words are not just simply words, because words have meaning, and words have attached images, feelings that we all agree upon. When we think about being happy, being joyful, we think about Family, it's only a word, but it's so very important for us because it means something and we attach figures, emotions, results to that word. So, this is what is the basis of neurolinguistics programming. Yeah, so we shape the
Wow.
words that we use, we shape our thoughts and patterns of how we are doing and how we are thinking, and we shape the results that we want to see in our lives.
Oh, that's so awesome. And I also know that the way we talk, the way we say things, it's there's a the the words that you say only count as 7% to the other person receiving that, and then another 38% on how you say the words that you are saying, and then the 50%, the 55% is ho- how, or the posture, or and the tonality of the words that you say, because from the other person's view. And so it's very, very essential that we use our words correctly and nicely, because I myself have been very guilty about that, because I thought saying the nice words, but my facial reaction, the way I say it, is different on how I deliver my words. So I'm very guilty about that. And when I learned about that, I was like, okay, then I need to change the way I deliver my message. And for me and my husband, it was in the beginning like, okay, I'm sorry, but my eyes are not saying sorry. So it's funny, but at the same time, we really need to pay attention. And like what we said in the Bible, our tongues are the strongest muscle in our whole body, isn't it? So we need to we need
Yes,
to pay
exactly.
attention what exactly we are saying to ourselves also, because one negative word is equivalent to, you need to say seven positive words, isn't it, to
Yes.
yourself and to other people. So this is the negative it can be. Oh, there's
Also, this
Vanessa
is
watching
why,
us. Good morning. Yes.
also, this
Oh,
is
it's
why one of
midnight in
the,
her. Yes, Renata. I'm sorry I cut you off.
no worries. This is why one of the signs of burnout is cynicism or the overuse of sarcasm. Because what you actually do, you are blocking a way out by your words from that current situation that you are stuck in. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And you are
Oh,
transmitting to your mind and to your subconscious that this is it and nothing can be done, you know. So I was a big fan of sarcasm. You know, we grew up watching Friends. Everybody knew Chandler. Yeah. So and we laughed about it, but when you grow up and when you actually learn how the mind works, it has very, very negative consequences. And if you understand that, you can change it in a conscious way. It won't be easy because it's a pattern that you have co created, but it definitely can be done as you are working towards your health and your wealth. So it's your well being at stake. Yes.
right. It's really essential that you need to take care of your own well-being first. Like when we go on a plane, they say before, when something happens to the plane, you need to take put the oxygen mask first on yourself before attending to somebody else. So we need to take care, really take care of ourselves, funny sometimes, and I read that would also affect the stress, right? Are also affected. internally by the sarcasm. It's so we need to think about the way we say, how we say, and the manner of how we say things. So I'm going to ask you another question, Renata. Would you say that you are already successful in your life and in your work?
I think we lost Crystal.
Yes, I'm back. I'm sorry. I had some trouble with my internet connection. So
No worries.
I was saying, would you say, Renata, are you think that you are already successful in your in your life and in your work life?
Um, I think we have to get clear on what success means. For
I
me, it
agree.
was about well being, it was about functioning properly, and it was about finding joy in life and having time for myself and working on something that I really love to do and having time for family and friends. So, from this point of view, yes, I know how success looks and how success feels like, and I
Right.
know what it's like, waking up in the morning filled with joy and looking forward of having an awesome day because you actually can do that and you can be part of something bigger. I love what I do right now, and I love the people that I'm surrounded with, and my family is healthy and happy. So, yes, I'm absolutely, in awe of the life that I'm currently living. Yes, I am successful.
Wow, I love that answer because when we were young, we say success means having everything that you want, having all the money in the world. But then in the end, now that we are in the stage where we are now, success is being able to spend time with your family, isn't it? Being able to spend time with yourself, knowing that you are giving value to others. And that's real success because having so much money, so much anything that probably the material things will never give you happiness, the same happiness that you will experience when you feel fulfilled, when you feel like you're giving value to others.
It will give you pleasure, yes, but happiness, no. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
exactly.
And joy is also one more thing that you cannot get when even if you have multi-millions. But of course, we need money to be able to help others, to pay for our bills, to pay for our health insurances and stuff like that. But it can never give you joy and happiness in your life.
Yes.
So let me ask you, do you have three best practices that you can give and you can share to our viewers so that we can implement them that we can implement immediately and daily to be successful?
Daily. Okay. Um, I have my personal rules that I can share. So,
Right.
what I do daily is I clean, organize, and simplify.
Okay.
Okay. And do not
Clean,
think
organize,
about,
and simplify. Sorry to
yes,
interrupt.
clean, organize, and simplify. because people are waiting, I know, for the weekend to clean, or once a month, or having
Right.
overall once a year big Christmas cleaning, right?
Yes. Right.
But the thing is that you can make small cleaning habits, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not talking about only your house or your car. I'm talking about even the virtual environment that you are working in. Just think about how many things we download from the internet per day.
Wow.
You
That's
have Exactly. You have tons of things saved in your bookmark, on
right.
your laptop, on your desktop, and so on. Yes. So I every day I clean things, a minimum of three things, because if even if I downloaded something and I didn't read it over a
Yeah.
period of 3 months, I'm not gonna do it. If
Mm.
that's
That's
relevant enough for me to take action, I'm not gonna do it. So I won't
yeah.
waste my time carrying that load into my future. So
Or
whatever got stuck into the past, I leave it
mhm.
in the past. So clean three things, even from a virtual environment. Organize, yes, organize what is left, because if you implement a system of cleaning, then you can make it easy to organize and have clarity in your life. And simplify. Whenever you organize the stuff that you are left with after your daily cleaning, you realize how few things you need in life. So always simplify in your thoughts, in your habits, in your patterns, in your virtual environment, and even in your physical environment. There are always ways for few things. It will give you much clarity even in your thinking. Yeah.
Wow.
So this clean, organize, and simplify.
Clean, organize, and simplify. I am so guilty on that because my children tells me, Mama, how come you have 5,000 emails? I was like, oh, I'm going to get into that, but I actually never do. So, and then when I try to erase them, it takes so much time. But actually, that's really good tip that we can do that every day, and then we can clean, organize, and simplify. And Vanessa says that's very cleaning is also therapeutic. I agree with that. And so I would like to ask you, because we are pushing through to the end of our show, and I'm so happy and grateful to have you in the Crystal Clear show. On even if our viewers or I myself would just keep the three tips that you have, it would already change my life and my mind, the way I think. Clean, organize, and simplify. And Vanessa saying she's even cleaning her Facebook friends list and the Facebook groups that she has joined, and she has lost interest. It's true, because over the
Yes.
years we don't connect with the groups that we joined before. Maybe during the pandemic we joined the cooking groups in Facebook, or sometimes the selling groups, but now we're not into that anymore. So it's true that we need to declutter our Facebook groups, our emails, inboxes. I'm going to do that, and I am so grateful for that tip. So, one last thing, Renata. I always ask my guests to give one last crystal clear gem that you can share with our viewers, apart from clean, organize, and simplify. I just love saying it: clean, organize, and simplify. It's very simple, but it's very powerful. It's life changing. I would tell you that.
Um, One advice, okay. I would say be sharp.
Be sharp.
Go straight after what you want. with precision. Everything else, it's just procrastination. Be sharp. Yeah.
Wow. It's true. It's like being laser focused, like the light that we have in a room. It gives illumination into the room, but when you are crystal clear, when you are laser focused, when you are you know exactly where you want to go, then you can absolutely do anything and everything that you want, because we are all equipped with all the abilities, the talents. Sometimes we don't even recognize our own talents. That's why I always start with a superhero, but now I added, what is your superpower? Because most of us, we don't know what our superpowers are. We just say, oh, I'm good at cooking, but not everyone is good at cooking. I'm good at talking with people. And myself, I always thought that singing and dancing are the only greatest talents, but it's not. It's not, because not everyone can sing, not everyone can dance, but and not everyone can talk to strangers, can network. So it's really talent and abilities that we need to sharpen also every day, every single day. We need to make a decision every day what we want. Am I doing things to move forward to my goal? Am I growing or am I disintegrating? That's the question that you need to ask. Thank you so much, Renata. Let's invite our viewers to check on your website, renatasas.com, if you wish to contact Renata, renatasas.com. She is a very, very good friend and have an accountability coach. So if you want to have someone accountable in your journey, Renata is a gal to call on to. Thank you so much for tuning in to Crystal Clear Show,
Thank
where
you
you
for
are
having
now.
me.
Thank you so much, Renata. Where you are now doesn't matter. Where you are going does. So remember to get crystal clear wherever you go. Have a good day. Bye, everyone. Good night, Vanessa.